Go Battle League or Pokemon Go PvP in general can be extremely demoralizing. Some days you just run into hard counter team after hard counter team. Nothing you can do to take a win. But sometimes you'll get a battle that's so good, you just keep wanting more. And today I got a set of battles to show you that made me feel that way. These battles didn't come down to team comp or just proper alignment. They came down to proper energy management and switch timing. Literally the smallest decisions made the difference, which are the games I really enjoy. These battles were done on my live stream, which is why you will see chat on the top right there. During an open Great League tournament I was participating in. I've already won 4 rounds. We are in the finals versus Trent, who's also currently undefeated. For those of you that don't know Trent, he is an amazing player. He finished top 3 in the Indianapolis Play Pokemon Regional Tournament and top 8 in the North American International. So absolutely busted player. So these are promising to be some good games right off the bat. It's a show 6 pick 3 tournament. You can see your teams on the bottom right there. I'm running Buzzwole, Lickitung, Galarian, Stunfisk, Kovacic, Tapu Fini, and Drapion. And Trent's running Umbreon, Swampert, Medicham, Ninetales, Alolan, Galarian, Stunfisk, and Trevenant. Overall, 2 pretty solid teams. Overall, I can't say I'm too happy with my matchup. That Umbreon Trevenant core in particular looks pretty difficult to deal with. My main answers for Umbreon being Buzzwole and Tapu Fini, which just get destroyed by that Trevenant. Drapion would do fine against that duo, but he does have Swampert and Galarian Stunfisk, which destroy Drapion pretty much. And I really only have one answer to that Charm, Alolan, Ninetales in my Galarian Stunfisk. But with Swampert, Medicham, and Trevenant on his side, it's very risky to bring my Galarian Stunfisk. My Lickitung, however, does look pretty good. Only really has to watch out for the Umbreon and Galarian Stunfisk, but Galarian Stunfisk is pretty close. And my Tapu Fini actually doesn't look too bad. Really only has to watch out for the Trevenant. So first game, I'm running a lineup with Tapu Fini, Lickitung, and then Drapion is kind of like an ABB style line. And I lead into a Medicham. Now this might seem pretty decent, and well, it is alright for Tapu Fini, but Psychic does so much for Medicham. You actually end up losing the 1s here usually, and the 2s if you don't bait. So yeah, it's definitely not that great. I'm gonna end up going for the Moonblast straight away, thinking that he has already burned a shield, so I might not shoot it up, but he does shoot it up. That's kind of painful, so I'm gonna try to catch a Psychic here, but it doesn't happen. He farms up to 2 Ice Punches right there. That's important to remember, and then switches in the Umbreon. And this is a pretty bad matchup for Lickitung, actually. All the licks are resisted. Body Slams will add up, but they don't really do that much, and the foul plays just add up more, really. Look at that. They really don't do anything. These licks aren't doing anything. This isn't looking great for me so far. Actually, if you watch my live stream back, I basically have already given up the game right here. But I still try. You always gotta try. They go for another foul play here. I want to save this Body Slam. I don't think throwing the Body Slam on the Umbreon here is gonna be very useful. So instead, I just switch into Tapu Fini and then bring in Alolan Ninetales. Not too good, but I should be able to reach double Surf here. So I'll go for 1 Surf, they let it go. Go for another Surf. I think I could have thrown 1 more Water Gun right there. But that would have probably knocked him out. But now I get 1 Poison Sting on my Drapion, which is pretty good before they can get to a move, before they even get off a Charm, which is nice. They have this Medicham with already double Ice Punch stored up. These won't do that much though. Actually, at this point, I wasn't even sure what moveset they had. Just assumed Ice Punch. But if it was Power Punch, it would have been even better for me at this point. I can overfarm a little bit here, since I thought they were double Ice Punch. I could have farmed like 5 more before they got to the 3rd. In comes Umbreon now. It's gonna start sludging this. They get to a last resort here, which I should shield, otherwise I will get knocked out. And after this, I can farm up a bunch of energy. I need to have energy loaded for this Medicham. Go for the Crunch versus Umbreon. Remember, I also have a Body Slam loaded on my Lickitung. So as long as I can Poison Sting this Medicham down into a range where Body Slam kills, which is like 23%-ish, I should be fine. And it's basically where he already was. So we get taken out by the Ice Punch here, but I can switch in my Lickitung, throw the Body Slam, knock out the Medicham. And that is a really good game right there. Came down to the absolute wire. That Umbreon was an absolute pain in my bum, so I decided to go with my Buzzwole now, since it's just the best Umbreon answer I have in a lead Medicham, which, well, isn't too great for the rest of my team either. So I'm just gonna stay in with my Buzzwole here. This is not a winning matchup for Buzzwole, by the way, but I can bring Medicham quite low. I'm just gonna shield this, probably an Ice Punch bait, but it is too risky to no shield, so I shield it up. Go for another lunge. This will take a shield right here. I'm kind of expecting a similar line at this point, which means I kind of have to save Buzzwole for the Umbreon in the back. And luckily both Lickitung and Drapion do fine against the Alolan Ninetales. Shielded Psychic that time. And I think I could have overfarmed one more before I got to the Ice Punch. And well, you saw that because I didn't CMP with me. So I could have definitely overfarmed by one more. And I switched in my Lickitung. And this is actually a mistake already. If I assume it's the same line up in the back, I should switch into Drapion. Because they will likely switch into Umbreon anyway. And Drapion versus Umbreon is kinda fine. They can't really overfarm that much there. Lickitung versus Umbreon, however, is very bad. So, yeah, they can safely switch it to Umbreon after doing some charms, and I'll be in a very tough spot. Besides that, you see, I overfarm my Lickitung. I should have just thrown Body Slam right away into the Alolan Ninetales, and I wouldn't have been in that bad of a spot. As we see, the Umbreon comes out, and this thing is gonna start loading up energy versus my Lickitung. Now, if it wasn't Umbreon, this might have been a good play. If it was Swampert, for example, bringing out the Lickitung there is a good play. But the thing is, if it was Swampert, they would have probably just stayed in with the Alolan Ninetales versus my Lickitung anyway. So that's a losing matchup no matter what for me. So I think definitely switching to the Drapion would have been a much better play. Then they either stay in with Alolan Ninetales versus my Drapion, and I can take it out, and then my Buzzwoles versus the Umbreon. Or they bring in the Umbreon anyway, and have my Lickitung versus Alolan Ninetales, which is just as fine. Oh, look at that. Wait, we're gonna... Oh, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Alright, alright. Wait. We're gonna go back there. We're gonna go... This thing is very low. I thought I wanted to come in with a Buzzwole just to get a 2-counter lead versus the Alolan Ninetales, but we simultaneous switch, and I die with the move. Remember how I said I could have overfarmed by one move. By one move versus the Medicham. One move more versus the Medicham. If I had done that, I would have actually reached that superpower, which would have been massive. That's when you really see that these really small decisions matter so much. At this point, the Umbreon has energy too. The Alolan Ninetales has energy. So this is not looking too great for me. I don't even throw my move. I know he has another one stored, so I just let it go. And yeah, it is 1-1 at the moment. These matches are a best of 3, so the next battle will decide the winner. He really seems to like that Alolan Ninetales, so this time I bring the Galarian Stunfisk instead of Drapion. And I still lead my Buzzwole, this time into an Umbreon, which is really good. In comes a Swampert. Swampert's also not too bad of a matchup for Buzzwole. But I have a Lickitung for it too, so I'm just gonna launch this once, bring in my Lickitung here. Swampert is actually pretty tough for my team. I have no, like, really hard answers. Even Lickitung takes so much damage from these moves. He goes straight for the Earthquake, which is wild, but as you can see, does so much damage. Another move coming through. I think this is another Earthquake, but I'm just gonna let it go. That's a ton of damage versus my Lickitung. Gonna throw this Body Slam right before he can get to a Hydro now. This will knock him out at this point. Umbreon will be able to farm me down though, which isn't great, as Last Resort actually does a decent chunk of damage versus my Buzzwole, so it is not looking amazing, but I am in a pretty good spot right now. These body slams are adding up as well, bringing the Umbreon into a range where some counters plus a lunge will knock him out. Has a bunch of energy loaded though. I'm actually going to shield this first move. Might seem kind of ridiculous, but I want to keep my Buzzwole somewhat healthy. I'm kind of expecting Medicham in the back at this point, which means I want to keep some health so I don't get countered down at least. And in comes the Medicham. This is not a good Medicham. Pretty big core breaker for Galarian Stunfisk and Buzzwole, but luckily Buzzwole has the lunge, so I will be able to start debuffing this thing's attack. Gonna shield up this Ice Punch, of course. I wanna take another shield here and get another debuff off. This lunge will hurt enough to where it will definitely warrant a shield from the Medicham. They do shield. I bring in my Galarian Stunfisk now. These counters are really doing nothing. This Ice Punch is really gonna do nothing since it's double debuffed. Now I can just go for the Earthquake. The only way I can mess this up is if the timer comes up before I can fire the Earthquake, but luckily his timer isn't up. The Earthquake knocks out the Medicham, and now the Umbreon basically has nowhere to go. So this match, a little more lucky on the alignment than the previous two, but still very good. Trent honestly did a great job making that still somewhat close, since that was kind of hard countery. Anyway, those were the battles for today. I hope you enjoyed them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck, your battle trainers.